tears of joy mostly. But had she been here, I'm sure she would have been sat right here.
Yeah.
So
she had a spot.
So imagine she's right here with us, and even at the closing ceremony, we will make it be in a way that from now henceforth, we'll always know she's in the audience watching the plays with us. For now, we won't say much because we'll be with you for most of the evening, so kindly don't get tired of seeing us. It's going to be not too long, but not too short either, so kindly glide with us as Margaretta would have enjoyed.
Martin, I'd love you to introduce the first tribute by Suki Wanza, and you do have your own Suki story.
I actually do.
Go for
it.
Oh
wow. Yes, want me to get into tears already. Nice. So my Suki and Margaretta story. Suki is here, right? Yeah. The last time, as in that moment I wouldn't know that I spent with Margaretta. We were just from a play, 1984. And Suki said hi, and she was in the vehicle, seated at the front. And since she was a distance away, we just went, hi Suki. Claire was there too. Yeah? He said, hi Suki, hi Suki. Then Margaretta was at the back and she said, hi Martin. And so I got near to the back seat and said hi. Then she blew a kiss my way. And in that moment, I felt a tingle. Then soon enough, I don't even know that was the last gesture she shared. So for me and for all of us, Margaretta sends a kiss. Suki, karibu sana on stage. Suki will speak on behalf of the KTA, who are the Kenya Theatre Awards, and they journeyed with Margaretta for years, but most especially the last few. Karibu sana.
Karibu Suki.
Good evening, everyone. I know we are in a somber mood, and I think I was sharing with Dr. Zipping. I knew most of us would be in black on this day because it's a whole funeral, tribute, whatever. I was like, I have never, in the many years I knew Margaretta, never seen her in black. So I was like, why should I wear black? I will remember her because of the color and the bright red lipstick she put on her small lips. My name is Suki Wanza. I'm a jury member for the Kenya Theatre Awards. Jury chair 2024. We served with Margaretta in 2023. 2023. And so I'll speak on behalf of the jury members. I decided to write it down because I was like, if I don't, it might morph into a whole story. We'll end up crying and all that. What have to say, Kwanza? Let's just say what you have to say first. At some point, I might burst into tears. Please allow me to. I will speak as I'm crying. I will try not to do that. So anyway. Margaretta Wa Gacheru. Tribute by Jury KTA 2023-2024. I'll make this short because Margaretta was many things to us, but most of all, she was a friend. My thoughts may be all over the place, but please bear with me, they are leading somewhere. So we came, every one of us put our thoughts together, so I'll start with Peter Ndoria, who was the jury chair for 2023. She just was. After watching Oliver at the KNT mid last year, I went to the front row to greet Margaretta in the company of my daughter, for whom it was the first time in theater. I introduced her to Margaretta. Your dad is our boss, Margaretta told her in a characteristic, unassuming fashion. Sure. They had by then made me head of jury for the KTA, that's Ndoria, but I was not in any way her boss. Under no metric of whatever parameter in whichever artistic, journalistic, or scholarly realm would I be able to match, let alone tower Margaretta. For good measure, she always asked about my daughter since then, and every time I went for a children's show without my daughter, I had to come armed with a convincing explanation. Over the 3 KTA years, that is 2021 to 2023, we interacted more, and she would soon regularly ask about my mother too. I, in turn, would chide her for not being able to communicate in Kikuyu, as on some occasions, I was happy to be her translator. I would remind her of her second name. You need to learn Kikuyu, ama we will come and reclaim our name. I would tell her in jest, and would laugh, often in one of the many rides when she and Guitar would drop Ndoria, or me, at Mountain Mall on their way home from yet another weekend of watching plays. The vastness of Margaretta's immeasurable achievements, this woman who dared imagine I was her boss, was revisited upon me late last year when she became the face of Kitfest, which she, by the way, complained seriously. Why is my face, was it green or red? Why is my face green, right? Yeah. And by then, this year's face is not green. I wanted to ask, why was her face green? When she became the face of Kitfest, and I felt that she had been at it for 5 decades, illuminating the world of women's rights and traversing the world of arts as a scholar, participant, and critic, and yet still managing to remain relevant and, I dare say, loved. And trust me, in the world of fragile egos, adoration is not an attribute often associated with art critics. But this was Margaretta. She of incomparable passion and commitment to the arts, the happy devotee in a field she was supremely qualified to be boss of, the strict timekeeper, the honest critic whose attention still invited biddings, disarmingly unassuming, and if you'll allow me just one last time, the Gacheru who still didn't know Kikuyu. I mean, she never needed to remind you of who she was. Margaretta just was. Dr. Emmanuel Shikuku adds and says, she was a great mentor, especially of students' productions and projects. When female students of KU wanted someone to mentor them on arts, she took her time and came all the way to Ruiru campus to speak to them. She attended most student projects that we have done in KU, and she had skills that she was happy to pass to the next generation. And she did with great enthusiasm, almost in a hurry, as if she knew she had little time to do so. Today, we eulogize Margaretta as a jury, one of us, who approached this difficult task with so much, almost divine enthusiasm, that one would have thought she knew it was her last big assignment for the arts in this country. She literally attended most, if not all, of the shows in the 2023 cycle of KTA. She taught some of us how to be a dedicated jury. We eulogize her as a mentor in the totality of the arts, the practice, and the criticism. Sitawa Namwali says, for all the great work that Margaretta did and for the love and commitment she had towards the art, can we have a Margaretta Award for something? Yeah, and I'm also asking Asuki, Jury Chair 2024. It would be for theater, art critics, or some special category. So Kitfest, tunawapea idea. The Margaretta Wa Gacheru Award for Excellence, or Margaretta Award for Best New Script, kazi kwenu. And finally mine. I knew Margaretta some time back, before the oxygen and frail body. However, we interacted more closely when we both served on the jury for the Kenya Theatre Awards 2023. During the first jury conference in April 2024, I was like, huyu hatutaelewana. We will not understand each other. Ni mama mzungu mtiaji sana. We argued bitterly, I may say, and I was pissed. It was something to do with dance theater, and I knew what I was talking about. But I was trying to be polite, and she was playing dirty. Then after the meeting, she said, no hard feelings, right, Suki? I was like, what? Anyway, from that day, it was gloves off. We could argue and tetea our choices without trying to kiddie glove the old Muzungu lady. And after that, she would give me a lift home as we enjoyed some chocolate. Once we attended a performance, and the performance started way late. The presentation on that day was dinner style, and each table had a bottle of wine. At about 10 p.m., she said she had to go as her oxygen was getting low na alikuwa amechoka. She was getting tired. So I was like, cool, you will drop me at the usual place. Then she says, my dear, carry the bottle of wine. I'm like, no, but it's not ours. And we haven't even sat through the whole show. She quickly picked it up and put it in my bag. Then she says, was that too hard? Now we can go. Many are the times she would share under the table the chocolates and candy that people gifted her. Thanks to Nash, where are you? You fed our chocolate and sugar addiction. Margaretta loved looking good. Many are the times we have taken pictures of her or with her and she said, let me see, let me look at it. I don't like it. It doesn't make me look good. She would take out her lipstick if she knew kuna chance ya photo op, and at times she would remove the oxygen tube and say she did not want that to appear in the photo. Of course, as time went by, she increasingly was not able to stay off the oxygen tubes. She said things as they were. Once, we met a media personality whom I was very excited to meet. When she introduced herself, she said that she's a social media influencer. Yo! Before she was even out of earshot, Margaretta goes, what did she say her name was? I answered. Then she said she's an influencer. Who does that? My dark skin was turning red. I tried shushing her. Woi, ndio niliharibu. She raised her voice in a loud whisper. How do you call yourself an influencer? Ego match? All this was said in the earshot of the media personality. Even after her tenure as jury for KTA, she still diligently watched shows, and I would send her posters every week. During her last days, she grew increasingly hard of hearing, and I would get frustrated as I read her the list of shows to watch during the week. Because she would keep on asking, so what show are we watching? What did you say the time was? Where is it? Then she would call after 5 minutes and ask the same question. And I remember I would ask, who is Guitar with you? So that I could give Guitar the instructions. Well, she never liked that. She would be like, no, he's not here. On the last weekend before her demise, she attended the unveiling of the 2024 face of KTA, even as she was not in top shape and was actually quite unwell. But she was resolute in her decision to attend the function. That was how she was committed to the arts. Sitting with her that day, we could never have imagined that she would be gone less than 5 days later. As I finish, the jury of KTA 2023-2024 wishes to thank the Kenya International Theatre Festival Trust and team led by Ngobia Benson and Kimani Kahuro for giving us the opportunity to serve with Margaretta wa Gachero. We have lost a resource, but most of all, we have lost a friend. May God comfort us all. Thank you.
Thank you, and for representing the KTA jury. As I invite the next speaker, Lisa Gacheru, on behalf of the family, please join me up on stage. This is wife to Megwe Gacheru. Please karibu sana Lisa to share your tribute with us.
Good evening. Good evening. Oh, that's really nice. I should sing a song up here, actually, but I won't do that today. My name is Lisa Gacheru, or as I should say, what I'm known as in the Kikuyu tradition as Lisa wa Migwi. I am Margaretta's I wrote it down. I am Margaretta's daughter-in-law, married to her son, Migwi. I am here along with other family members representing the Migwi, the Gacheru's father, and the Swigert family. Migwi sends his regrets and returned to the U.S. on Sunday, where Margaretta's remains. I gotta stand, okay. I'm sorry. I wrote this out for a reason. To honor her and her mother's wishes to be buried next to each other in Evanston, Illinois. Although her body has departed the continent, her spirit remains in Kenya with us, where she spent almost 5 decades committed to the arts and the people she dearly loved. We are humbled to be here and for all of you to attend, and the outpouring of the love and support you guys have given us. Thank you all for coming out to celebrate Margaretta's life. This means a lot to the family. I would be remiss if I did not think of Mr. Oldwall and all the things that he's done to put this together, and the team that has come together to also put this together. We appreciate everything you guys have done. I have known Margaretta for more than 25 years. I have been her daughter-in-law. And here's what my family and I would like you to know about her. She was the only daughter of 4 siblings, so you know she was tough. She learned to be tough, and she refused to be labeled as just a girl. Now, everything else I'm going to say, I'm going to use with the present tense because her spirit lives on, and she's not really dead. She's living on. As all of you know, that she is a lifelong learner. She has 6 degrees. And you also know that she's very ambitious, and she's always on the go. Oxygen never stopped her. Even in the States, when she drove her car all over. The police officers knew her on certain corners because she would just pass up the stop signs. But she was always on the go. She and an educator. She is a motivator and a supporter. She is a mother, a sister, an aunt, and a show. She is dedicated and persistent. She is a hard worker. She attends all those events, even though sometimes we say, please just take a break. She's like, no, I have to get there. I have to be there. I have to be the one writing that story. She is a loving person and a friend. She is Dr. Margaretta. She is a phenomenal woman, and now she is resting. One thing I admire about Margaretta is that she loved her work. It wasn't a job, and that was always something that inspired me. It was her passion. You heard it in her voice every time she spoke, and you felt it when she wrote her stories. She took her job very seriously because she felt it was her purpose in life, and it's awesome when you find your purpose in life. She felt it was important to write, to share, and to educate Kenya and the world about African art. So as I stand before all of you, I challenge all of you who want to honor Margaretta to work passionately, purposefully, in whatever profession you like to do, just like she did. Also, let's continue sharing the Kenyan art experience with the world, just like she did. She worked to live. She didn't live to work. Art and journalism were her life. This is what she was put on this earth to do. We are thankful she had the opportunity to be a part of Kenya, to meet so many people, and for us to be able to meet so many people. We pray her passion for the art and journalism lives on. Thank you for allowing me to stand before you today, and thank you guys for all that you have done.
Yay! Let's celebrate her. She made it through. I've learned something super special about Margaretta today. She was a good mom-in-law. Hello, Kenyan mothers. Hello, they are mothers of the future husbands of ours. Can you borrow a leaf? In fact, take the whole tree and go with it. Allow me to welcome one of the best storytellers this side of the Sahara, south of the Limpopo, north of the, I was going to say Maldives, but it's not flowing, it has refused. Dr. Zippy Okoth has a story to tell us through the next few minutes. She'll take us through her journey and her experiences alongside the amazing Margaretta. So let's welcome Dr. Zippy Okoth. Karibu sana.
The very first time I performed at Alliance Francaise, I was a little young girl, 25 years old, and that is the first time Margaretta wrote an article about me. It was written Margaretta wa Gacheru, and they said the future of Kenyan music industry. It never got that. I went to Nation to meet Margaretta wa Gacheru, and shock on me to see a white woman. I didn't expect that. But she interviewed me and wrote a nice article alongside other musicians who are upcoming for spotlight on Kenyan music. It was beautiful. I read it and I believed I would be among the biggest stars in this country. Today I'm wearing a black dress which Margaretta would be shocked at because she never saw me in one. I barely even have an official dress because every time it was African, and she would look at me and say, "You look so fantastic, Zippy, that's fantastic. Oh, you are adorable." And we would hug and I would squeeze her even when she was already in her oxygen. And she says, "Zippy, it's enough." I say, "It's not enough. Hugs can never be enough." In 2021, during LIPF, we gave Margaretta her Lifetime Achievement Award. She was not in the country that November. And so my friend Suki and I met her at Garden City, Java, for lunch and an afternoon. We thought it would be 30 minutes because Margaretta was always busy. But she said, "Zippy, let's just relax, they can wait." People called and we sat there with Margaretta for 3 good hours until 5 p.m. And that afternoon, I realized the similarities in my life and hers. So deep, so similar, so alike. She opened like never before. But that was her. And from that time, anytime I met Margaretta, I took photos with her because I told her, "You take photos of people, but there are no photos of you and others. I promise you I'm going to take the most photos with you." And anytime we met, we took a selfie. Many selfies. And last year at Kid Fest, I think the sweetest selfie we had was when I sat at her feet and said, "I'm sitting on the foot of a legend." And she said, "A star is sitting at my foot." And that photo made me feel warm. This year, there were messages going around. You know the committee messages? Those ones who tell you, like, "Somebody is sick, please send money." And I texted that person back. Margaretta has never asked for money from anyone. And the people called, and I told them, "You are a con. Margaretta has never asked." And a day later, everyone was told those were con men. Because Margaretta never asked a cent or bribe from anyone. She arrived to report out of passion, out of love, because she knew she needed to be there. There are times when she had to come there using a boda, and when she got ill and having her oxygen, she still made a way there and never asked anyone to fuel her car. On my last show, on this stage, last year, she hugged me when she sat there. And she said, "You have grown, Zippy. You are a star." And she said, "I love this. I love this, you've grown." And we stood there and she talked and talked and talked about it. I didn't know what she meant by "I have grown," because to a storyteller, sometimes you just enjoyed yourself. But later on, we talked, and she told me how she enjoyed it, it was different and all that. And it felt nice. Margaretta died in August. a very beautiful month and a very difficult month for me. On Thursday, 8th, as I was sitting, I just finished one of the classes, my friend Vigilance called me. We needed to talk about something else. Then she said, have you seen what Stuart has posted? I said, what has he posted? Is there a flash sale? Because the Sarafina that was coming, I like flash sales. And she said, no, Margaretta is gone. I broke. My children were there, and they asked, who is it? I told her, you remember my Muzungu friend? The one you met at Wood Creek? The one you met at Braeburn? She's gone. And we cried that day. But this week, I thought about the coincidence. Margaretta died on 8th, my mother died on 3rd. My mother was buried on 10th, and I am here on 20th to remember a woman I loved and who I know truly loved me. And today, for her sake, I wore this dress that I last wore on 10th of August 2021. This is the one person I know who wrote the most articles about Zippy Okoth. And I know the first time she told me she is Dr. Margaretta Wa Gacheru, I used to call her Dactarian, still squeezed her. But the one thing I remember, and that will remain, is her saying, you're a star. But one time, as we were in Ukumbi Mdogo after watching a show, one of the performers came and I introduced, oh, you don't know Margaretta? And she said, I don't know. She said, look at her. Who is she even? She's not even a star, and she does not know Margaretta. And I told her, Margaretta, this was a beautiful show. She was like, it was crap. And that was Margaretta for you. She's like, she cannot be humble enough to say hello. And I told her, Margaretta. She said, I and Margaretta could speak, and we laughed. And she said, you, Zippy, tell these people how to behave like a star. They don't know how far you have come. And it is not every day when we are in a society that all it does is criticize us as artists. But when there's that one voice that tells you you're a star, Zippy, it is the only thing that remains in your mind. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, right now we shall watch a special tribute courtesy of the visual arts community.
My name is Rahab. I'm from Banana Hill Art Gallery. I've known Margaretta since 1992. We have been so close with Margaretta. We always want to know what is going in Banana Hill Art Gallery, what is new, and in everything that we are doing. Margaretta is there to support us with ideas and publicity. And I love Margaretta because she was so dedicated to what she's doing, and we'll miss her. Also as a friend, and I'm afraid of art.
Good morning, I'm Mr. Shine Tani, the Banana Hill Gallery director. I've known Margaretta since early 90s, which is around 1992. And she has been a good friend of mine as an artist, as well as she has been a good friend of the gallery. We have worked a very close relationship by providing information that she has been doing for the last two publications. She has been talking about us. Every exhibition that we put up, she has been there for us. She has been a good contributor of anything that we need, even when we needed assistance and we needed to be directed on some things. She'll be there and she'll be a help to us. And how, again, we say, rest well, Margaretta.
Media. First and foremost, the media enables you to be elevated to a public space. And you may say, well, how do I get there? How do I get to the media? And which one is important? We're talking about all media. Print media, virtual media online, and TV, even just your name needs to be out there. You need to be a brand. And I was saying to she, I want her to make t-shirts for me. And I want her to have a logo that she puts on everything she does. So everybody knows that logo, that's she. And it's nobody else. So you can't just sit in your studio and say, they'll come to me. No. You need to check the Nation, the Standard, the Times, the people. Who are the writers that care about you? Take note. Many of them have their emails there. You can email them and invite them to your studio. You can send them one of your works. Better to invite them. People love invitations. You say, come for a cup of tea. My studio, where is it? People are ready to come to you. You're an artist, why? Because you want to express yourself. So if you express yourself with your art, then that means you want to be heard. Heard by who? Not your mother. Your mother's been listening to you for years. She loves you. She'll support you or not. If she doesn't, you look elsewhere because you've discovered that art is your passion and you want to do it. Wherever you are, you want to do it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, if there's one thing the theater community can do, is try and pretend that she was ours alone. We shared her equally with the visual artists. Visual artists, we are here celebrating her too. And on your behalf, I'd like to invite Faith, who is Shine Tani's daughter, after which we'll have Maggie Otieno. They'll speak on behalf of the Banana Hill Art Gallery and on behalf of the visual artists. Karibu sana, Faith. Karibu sana. Welcome. Dad is waving you along. Is that too high for you? You could use this. A round of applause for her, please. So she's whispered she's not an actor, just so you know, huh?
I'm a visual artist.
Yes.
Hi everyone. I'm Faith Tani, daughter of Shine Tani, director of Banana Hill Art Gallery. So I'm here to read the tribute. MARGARETTA WA GACHERU. Today we gather to celebrate and honor the life of our cherished friend, MARGARETTA WA GACHERU, a passionate writer and esteemed ally in the art world and a remarkable passion for the arts with heavy hearts and profound gratitude. We reflect on her extraordinary contributions and the lasting impact she had on our community. Her journey was a testament to her unwavering dedication and love for art, a flame that burned brightly even in the face of adversity. I first met MARGARETTA in 1991 on the streets of Nairobi. She was always on the move, running at all times, gathering information about art, with a pen and a notebook at the ready. My friend Wakanyote often called her Wanjira, due to the many laps she made through galleries and artists meeting at the Nation Center. I am 21 years old, so I am reading for my father, Shine Tani. So I didn't meet her in 1991. I met her when I was a baby. I've always been around her because she has always been around the gallery. My wife and I were struck by Margaretta's boundless curiosity and genuine enthusiasm for the arts. She had an extraordinary ability to dive deep into the world of art and its creators, asking questions with intensity, her pursuit of the stories behind artworks, often seeking the personal narratives that made each piece unique, was driven by her desire to share a vibrant artistic world with her readers. Margaretta was not just a writer. She was a beacon of light in the art world, a tireless advocate of artists, and cherished friend. Her commitment was evident in everything she did. From her monthly visits to our gallery, Banana Hill Art Gallery, where she meticulously captured the essence of each new visual art exhibition, to her insightful articles that brought our work to a broader audience. At times, her questions and interest in behind the scenes details were surprising. It took me a while to understand that her inquiries were not merely about gathering information, but about capturing the essence of the artists themselves. She named her pursuit to these stories juicy gossips. Her usual phrase as she drew her chair near me was, "I love gossips. Tell me more gossips." She aimed to bring their stories to life, highlighting their struggles, triumphs, and everyday moments that made her journey compelling. Her articles were never mere reviews. They were intimate portraits that invited readers into the hearts and minds of the artists she featured. Whenever we will have lunch or breakfast at the gallery, and maybe due to working long hours, we will rush to eat and she will remind us to pray. Give thanks for what we were about to have. The usual question was, "Shine, have you prayed?" Margaretta's writings spanning newspapers, magazines, and digital platforms bridged the gap between artists and the audiences. Her journey from teaching herself professional photography to imparting these skills to her assistant, Gitao, was inspiring. A commitment extended beyond personal achievements. She championed African artists using the Kenyan Art Diary and contributions to the Daily Nation, Business Daily, Mbegu Njema, and many others. To amplify their voices and celebrate their work through her lens, she showcased the beauty of art and shared the stories of the artists behind it, inspiring countless visitors to the galleries and fosters a vibrant community of art enthusiasts. In 2011, Dr. Margaretta embarked on a visionary project with Kitengela Glass, the Kenyan Art Diary. The diary became a visual platform for artists from our Gallery Banana Hill Art Gallery, and beyond, providing them with a space to be seen and celebrated. Her dedication to this project extended beyond borders, creating a rich tapestry of artistic expression and united voices from across the region. One of her most profound achievements was her book she contributed celebrating successful women in the world. This book was a testament to the belief in the power of women and their contributions. It was a source of pride and inspiration of many, including my wife, Shine Tani. That's my mother. I went like a few months ago to our store and found that book, and I was so happy to find my mother in that book. And it's all because of Margaretta, whose artwork was highlighted in its pages. Through the lives, the book was through the limelight and critics she offered to get